Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be with you today, Josue Dioba on the air. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic. We will be addressing the most popular questions that are asked about the company, the atom, our project, as well as everything that involves this wonderful technology. Many people have questions and concerns about how the project works. What are the steps? What have we been able to accomplish so far? So we're going to talk a bit about all of that. I will answer some of the most popular questions from our investors, our partners, our representatives, the questions that come up most often. So watch this video until the very end to get some detailed answers that will hopefully satisfy your curiosity. Now, the first question people tend to ask is, when exactly did the Electroatom project begin? Let me remind you that the project started in August 2024, a year and a few months ago. During this particular period of time, many significant projects have been developed, including the official launch of a comprehensive website where people can register, access information, pay for their investment package, and take part in the various actions and promotions that are launched. We have an official website, which is elatom.com. You can visit the website to get more information. In addition to that, we also made trips to Africa. Not only to Africa, but we also went to Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, and several other countries. Trips were made throughout this entire period. We also had exhibitions, we held conferences, and in February 2025, we traveled to Côte d'Ivoire, where we organized a major conference at the Azalai Hotel. It was truly something remarkable, and we are very proud of what we achieved. There is also the appointment of representatives and leaders. I would also like to remind you that in December, we held a conference in Ghana, a conference that was moderated by Victor Tunov and his team from Elato. We have also had the appointment of representatives and leaders at the African level in several countries across the African continent and in many other regions where, to date, we have several African representatives in various Francophone and Anglophone countries and so on, just to say that the work is ongoing. We have also had construction, projects that are underway and will be unveiled very soon. You will have more information about them. What is the difference between Elato, Electroatom, and Trebel technologies? This is a question that comes up frequently. People often wonder what Elato is, what Electroatom is, and what Trebel Technologies is. We are going to provide an answer to that question. Elato is an investment company that is dedicated to raising necessary capital for the Electroatom project. So Elato is an investment company that is officially registered to allow the raising of funds through various promotions, all in order to finance the Electroatom project. So what exactly is Electroatom? It is a project dedicated to the sale of power plants with the goal of allowing everyone to have access to their own electricity, their own energy at a lower cost. The project also aims to eliminate power outages in many countries, especially African countries and others like India and similar nations. Now let's talk about Trebel Technologies. What is Trebel Technologies? There is a big difference. Trebel Technologies, represented by its director Victor Tunov, focuses on technological development. What does that mean? We have the workshop, we have the factory, and that's where all the experiments are done, the technology, how we can move the project forward. Everything happens at Trebel Technologies. If you like, that's where the construction of the power plant takes place, the testing, everything related to chemical and technological trials. Everything happens at Trebel Technologies. So that's the primary difference between Elato, which is the investment, Electroatom, which is the project that empowers anyone to be self-sufficient, and Trebel Technologies, which focuses on the ongoing operation of the technology. How does the company attract investments? Now, that is a very good question. How do we attract investments? Because we need to be able to move forward, and we need funds. So the company raises funds by selling investment packages with a minimum investment of $50. Each package includes a certain number of shares or stakes. So when you purchase an investment package, there are shares automatically attached to that package, and therefore you own shares in the company Elato. Additionally, the company also raises funds through, actions and promotions that are launched. So we also make money when we launch promotions that people do not take advantage of. People have shares and also stocks which have allowed the company to move forward up to now. I would like to remind you that we have received many offers from certain countries that were ready to finance the project, to buy the project, but we refused. We are counting on our investors, we are counting on our partners to be able to meet the challenge. In which country are the installations? Fourth question. Let me remind you, fourth question. In which countries will the Elato facilities or companies and the power plant factories be built? That's a very good question, to know where we are going to set up our companies. So this question is currently under consideration, but it is very likely that it will be in India, Russia, Vietnam, and Africa. Let me remind you that in Africa, the specific country has not yet been determined. We still don't know the exact location in Africa where we will construct and establish the power plant. It could be in Côte d'Ivoire, or it could be in Togo, Benin, or Burkina Faso. Let me remind you that the specific country that offers us the most, the best offers, or the country that has a percentage or an offer that truly appeals to us, at that point we will build. So we will build our manufacturing plant, a large factory that will produce the power plants in that specific African country. For now, it has not yet been determined, but soon we will. We are still discussing it, and we will choose this African country. Currently, the company Elato is not as active or popular within Russia as it is elsewhere. Yes, it is a question that many people ask themselves. Why is the company so much more present in places like Africa, Vietnam, and India, but not so much in Russia? So you should know, as we mentioned earlier, that the company, including the entire project, has only been in existence for about a year, which is not long ago. Therefore, we are currently focusing our efforts on the countries that are in need of electricity. Electricity is very important for us. This does not mean that we will not be present in Russia. No, we will have an influence, but we are moving step by step because it hasn't been long since this company and the project came into existence. So we are working on it, and very soon you will see that there will be a strong presence in Russia. I would like to remind you that the company Elato is not registered in Russia. It is registered in Trinidad, but here under Trebel technology. Trebel technology is indeed registered in Russia, and I believe we have all the documents, all the proof to keep you informed. So the question people ask us, the sixth question, is to know where the offices of Elato and Trebel technology are located in Russia. I would like to remind you that currently our offices are located in Tomsk. So the company Elato is based here in Tomsk, Russia, but we are already planning to establish ourselves in other cities, especially the major cities that you know. On the other hand, our operational Trebel Technologies factory is also in Tomsk, as I mentioned. There, we conduct experiments, assemble everything, and carry out all our necessary work. So we have the company Elato, which officially has its office here in Tomsk, Russia, and we also have the Trebel Technologies factory. Trebel Technologies is not an office, it's a factory where we conduct experiments and work to ensure the proper functioning of our technology. Now, the second to last question we want to address today is, how can one become an investor or partner in the project? So, to become an investor, you need to register on the official website, elatom.com, provide your personal information, that is your identification document, and you will be asked for some details. It is very important for us to know who we are cooperating with. Provide your personal information, complete the verification process, this is very important, and sign an agreement. There are documents, there are contracts that you will see in your back office, and you must, as I said, complete the verification, sign an agreement, subscribe to an investment package with a minimum of $50 as an investment loan to become a co-owner, or if you wish, to become a partner of our company. This package gives you the right to become not only an investor, but also a co-owner of the company Elato. To conclude our Q&A series, we now move on to the question of how to become a representative of the Electroatom project within the company Elato. This is very important because many people wish to become representatives in their country, on their continent. So let me remind you that the first condition, or rather the conditions, are that you must invest or become a partner in the project. You cannot wish to be a representative if you yourself are not an investor or a partner. It doesn't work that way. Second condition, you must have the willingness to contribute to the development of the project. So there is this willingness to devote oneself body and soul to advancing our project all over the world, but in this case in one's own country. The third condition is that you must master the project and its technologies. How can you possibly expect to become an investor or a representative if you do not master the Electroatom project? It is very difficult. The third question, Third condition, the final requirement to become an Elatom representative in your country is that you need to have some experience in developing and growing your own community. You need to hold Zoom conferences. You must be able to build a team that will be ready to make sacrifices to advance the project in your country. These are, in short, the conditions to become a representative of the Electroatom project in your country. So I would like to remind you that this was a series of questions asked by our investors, by our partners, and we collected these questions in order to be able to answer them. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you again next week to share more news. Goodbye.